everyone, this is Amanda from devotioninaction.com, and this is our third Sunday in the series Overcomers in October, and I'm in 1 Peter 5, verses 6 through 11, and this devotional that goes along with this is called Lion Tamers and Overcomers. So when I did this devotional, I just had this picture in my head of like a circus, a lion tamer, and the scripture talks about the devil coming at us like a roaring lion, but that God tells us to resist the devil. And so I just had this picture of this lion blustering and roaring, and the lion tamer just has his hand up like, no, you can't do that. And so I found this image, and you'll see in a minute. I found it online. I just Googled lion tamers and saw this. It was not quite like this. I changed the mouth so that the lion will be roaring instead of looking all pleasant just sitting up there, and kind of drew this off of this image. So I will link in the description below the video to where to find this image online, so that I want to give that person proper credit and everything for their image. But I just kind of drew this in pencil, and I think it's pretty cute. They're kind of cartoony lion and lion tamer figures, but I've spelled this up a little bit so that you don't have to watch a really, really long video of me drawing this in pencil. So, and here's the top hat of the lion tamer coming together. I really liked this whole scripture passage. That picture in my head of the lion tamer, it just feels really empowering. And I think that God has created us to be overcomers in this life. He is empowering us and preparing us and teaching us that we are children of God, and we have power to resist the devil, power to overcome difficulties and to overcome things that come against us in life. And we can kind of take control of that, to trust God and to become over. And here I'm kind of drawing in the plaid of his vest that he's got on, those funny looking legs and boots down at the bottom, just kind of penciling this in. And again, I do not draw this quickly. It is sped up quite a bit. So there you go. And the word art says, we are lion tamers, we are overcomers. So that's what that says up there. Just going to pencil that in. And then at the bottom, I'm just penciling in hashtag DIA, Devotion in Action, Overcomers. There you go. That's the image that I saw online. See how his mouth's not quite open there. So I put the link in the description below. Here is the micron pen that I'm going to use. It's a 01 micron, just going over those pencil lines. And this week I actually remembered. Last Sunday I did not remember, but this week I actually remembered to start at the top of the page so that I don't drag my hand through wet micron pen and smear it when I'm going over those pencil markings in black micron pen. So that says, we are lion tamers, we are overcomers. And then here is my graphics 1 pen that's a little thicker, just thickening up those downward strokes of those letters. I just think it makes the lettering pop. That's kind of my go-to technique for a quick word art look. And then I'm going to go on to the picture, grab that 01 micron pen again. I think might be slightly bigger than that, I'm not sure. And I'm just going over all of these lines. Yeah, I think it's 01. And coming down around his jacket and everything. This is just basically going over those penciled lines, because I don't trust myself to just start drawing in this black micron pen. I feel like I need to do it in pencil first, and that's just a comfort issue. If you feel like comfortable just going for it in the black micron pen, you totally could. It's just I'm not at that point yet in my artistic abilities. I feel like I need the security of being able to erase it. And I went ahead and blacked in that hair because I wanted the lines of the pin like strands of hair on it. So that's why I went ahead and filled that in. I'm going to watercolor this image after I've got it all lined out. These micron pens are not water soluble, so you can watercolor over the top of them and they don't just start to run or smear or anything. So that's fantastic. That's really, really good. So just coloring in this little lion, and on the nose, I get tired of coloring it in with a tiny tip. So I grab my Graphics 1 pen and go ahead and fill the rest of that in. Line out this lion. If you haven't listened to the devotional for today, I encourage you to watch the video for Lion Tamers and Overcomers. This is a great passage of scripture, and that video kind of shows my heart behind what I felt, what I was thinking when I read this and kind of studied it. So now I'm gonna take the Graphics One pen, and I'm gonna fill in some of those triangles on the lion stand that he's sitting on. So that at the bottom, it also is dated. If you, that hashtag DIA Overcomers, I would love for you to use that if you participate in this Overcomers in October series and you do a Bible art journaling entry. I would love to see it. So post it on social media of some kind, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, or in the comments on the blog, and just hashtag it DIA Overcomers. That's Devotion in Action Overcomers. And I just wanted that really dark black for some of those triangles. So I went ahead and did that. The lines coming out of his mouth, I was afraid they were going to be too thick. And so I just took a thinner pen. And you notice that popped to a picture with the yellow on it. I thought the camera was on when I started watercoloring and then realized it wasn't. So I quickly turned on the camera. And so it was like a little bit done, but you didn't miss hardly anything. So we were moving at about 4 times speed because I was taking my time. I kept getting interrupted by my kids and by everything going on. We have a ton going on this week, and so I kept getting interrupted. And I so wish, oh my goodness, I so wish I would have put a white sheet of paper underneath the clear lid on that watercolor, because what's happening is I'm actually mixing colors on that clear thing, and I could tell what I was doing because the light was kind of reflecting off of them, but it doesn't look like anything on the video. You can't see it because of the dark brown of the table behind it. So I wish you could actually see that, but it's impossible. And you'll notice these are really cheap watercolors. These are like Crayola school supply aisle at Walmart watercolors, and so I have to go over and over and over them to get any saturation of color. So you'll notice that sometimes I even have to take my heat tool and dry this. It pools up, and I have to really just keep going over it to get the colors that I want. But I didn't want most of it. I didn't want super saturated. I just wanted enough color to really give the idea. So here is filling in that hat and the suit jacket, and the black just ran everywhere. I wanted it darker, but I have to be patient. I have to do thin layers, and I'm just going to have to do several different layers on top of this black to get it a little bit closer to a black for that top hat, which actually does kind of work out well because I end up being able to kind of shade the hat so that it's brighter on the front face of the hat and lighter, and then darker on the back of the hat. So it gives that kind of illusion of being rounded on the cylinder of the hat, which is kind of nice. So I guess there are positive things to any problems, like non-saturating watercolor. I will say that this watercolor, and I don't know about expensive ones because I haven't worked with them, but cheap watercolor at least, it will go right through the Bible page. So this page is page prepped with like 3 layers of gesso, because that's kind of the magic number for my Bible that I noticed, my gesso in my Bible, that makes the page like not wrinkle up as much. It kind of, by the time I get 3 on, it kind of lays out a little flatter, and I like the working surface a lot, and nothing bleeds through it then. And I am actually in love with watercolors right now. I like being able to mix the colors that I need. I like playing around with them. So I may have to get myself some better watercolors pretty soon. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some for my birthday. So anyway, there you go. I'm filling in some bright purple there, and I've got some orangey reds going on. And now I'm going to kind of work on this vest, and I had this picture in my head of like a green and purple plaid, so I'm going down with the greens, and then I'm just going to dab those with a paper towel so I get kind of a light green wash on that vest. And now I'm going to go on the lines of the plaid with this purple with a really thin, skinny little brush, and that actually worked out pretty well. Maybe you'll see better in the picture at the end, but That actually really worked out well. And this is what I was talking about with that hat. See how I didn't quite go to the edge? It's lighter in the middle, darker in the back, and really light on the very front edge of that hat. It gives kind of a rounded, shadowing kind of look to the hat, which I really kind of liked. It's nice. And see these, this coat is darkening up quite nicely now that I'm being able to put another coat of that on there. So that's good. I was really happy with that. And adding a little bit of orange to the red of the tie and the socks because I added orangey red to those triangles on the bottom and I wanted to kind of echo that color. And some orange and red to that little stripe on the hat. And some more black to the hat because it just seemed like it needed it. Get a skin color going for that face and yeah, there you go. A little bit of yellow for the shirt. It just seemed too white. I wanted to keep the pants white, but I wanted some more color. It feels like on a circus you ought to have lots of color. Lots of intensity. Okay, now I'm making those boots a little blacker like I did for the coat and the hat, and there you go. I thought I was done, and then I realized, oops, I forgot to put his whip in there for the lion. So I'm going to grab a micron pen and just draw in that whip there. And I'm taking a thinner one to actually draw in the line of it, and then I'm going to take a thicker one and go over it again to kind of thicken that line so it stands out a little bit more. Just grab that good old handy graphics one pen and color that in to make it darker. So there you go, just darkening up that line so it stands out a little bit more, and the very end of the whip too. And this is basically it. We are lion tamers. We are overcomers. Again, I encourage you to check out devotioninaction.com if you haven't done so. We're halfway through our series on overcomers in October, but it's not too late to just jump in with us. You don't have to catch up. You can just jump in and join the Facebook group. Every day I put out a little scripture verse and something on that. So come on over. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.